What up and welcome. This is Tell Me I'm Wrong. I am Marsh. We've got Rick Blaze. We've got Yells in the building. Appreciate you tuning in today. Today we're talking about why not only are hotels back, hotels are king. Tell me I'm wrong. What up and welcome. This is Tell Me I'm Wrong. I am Marsh. We've got Rick Blaze. We've got Yells in the building. Appreciate you tuning in today. Today we're talking about why not only are hotels back, hotels are king. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, a clarification. What I'm talking about probably means that we might not be getting a sponsorship from one of the two prominent bed and breakfast home rental agencies, and I think I'm perfectly fine with that. But what I'm here to tell you about is why the virtual bed and breakfast, the rent a vacation home by the owner, is not the way to go. We need to be going back to hotels because hotels are far superior than whatever we've had, and I can prove that based off some recent family experiences with one specific bed and breakfast hosting platform. Rick, hotels are back. We got to go back to hotels.
Nah, you're wrong, bro. I think hotels serves a purpose. I don't think hotels these days are the purpose. If I have a choice between staying at a hotel or maybe an Airbnb, or a third one, an all inclusive, I'm going all inclusive actually. So anytime I'm out the country, I think all inclusive is the way to go in most cases, especially because I like to be by the water, so I'm always gonna pick it all inclusive. But man, hotels are kind of like it's becoming like the boring thing to do, sort of. It's almost unless you're in Vegas, unless you're in Miami, where those hotels are specifically placed right by the action. Outside of those two places, most people I know are opting for Airbnb. You know, you get more amenities. It's better pricing. Hotels are crazy expensive for no damn reason. Like, yeah, it's an Airbnb, so there's gonna be some things about that too. But I think overall, nah, bro, nah.
Before I give my take, Marsh, I really have to hear why you're saying this. I think everybody needs to hear why you're saying it.
Sure, sure. So we had family down here for Christmas. They came down and they rented. It was a we don't have enough space at our house to host everybody. So they got there was six of them coming. They rented an Airbnb. Rick already said it, so we're already not getting sponsored by Airbnb anyway. So I was holding out hope that we might make a couple bucks here, but I think we've officially alienated them. But anyhow, so they get an Airbnb right across, like literally quarter mile that way, 5 minute drive. Great location. And so the first night they get there, the ceiling in the upstairs, one of the upstairs bedrooms, is dripping water. So they call the Airbnb host. The host is like, "Wow, that shouldn't happen," and they get an AC person to come out. The AC person comes out and says, "So the drip pan had overflown. They had taken that out, but it was still wet." And the Airbnb host is like, "You're fine. It's not a big deal. Just open up the windows and let the air flow and don't use the AC as much. Whatever you got to do." So they say whatever. That night, ceiling, big old square from the ceiling, falls out of the ceiling,
my God.
lands on the ground. There's a hole in the roof. Well, not the roof, in the ceiling to the attic. And of course, a Florida attic, you don't use Florida attics. It's just empty space because it would just be unbearably hot up there.
Lord knows
most of
what's
the time.
in there. Lord knows.
Lord knows in a Florida attic,
Freaking
even more dangerous. So that they have nowhere to go that night, so they stay that night, and over the course of the night, more of the ceiling fell onto the ground, and they had to get a new Airbnb because that was the only number of people that could solve it. But as this is happening, my wife and I, who are planning a trip this summer, we have always been an Airbnb couple. We love that you feel like you're at an apartment, you feel like you're in the city, like you're a resident when you're traveling in the city. and we were thinking back, and our last 6 trips was a coin flip on it was either going to be great or it was going to be terrible, because very often people just buy cheap furniture that's supposed to look comfortable but in actuality is not. They put the same cliche artwork that they went to Walmart and got, especially in Florida. It's going to be life's better at the beach, and then here's a picture of a sand dollar, and then here's a picture of a starfish, and then a picture of the beaches rolling in, and it's just cheap crap that they've put into this place to make it look nice, because on its surface it looks nice, but it's completely uncomfortable, and you don't want to sit on it. Can't sleep on the bed because it's too stiff, or people actually have good ones. But the fact that it's a coin flip, I know if I book at a good hotel, and I will not say the brand that I prefer because this is not an ad for them, but I like to go and I know what it's going to be. It's a nice bed. It's a nice little setup. My sheets are getting changed every day. I'm getting new towels every day. I have to do laundry. It's fantastic. Hotels are king.
You used the word fantastic, and like you said it so hard too. Like I feel like you meant that.
I do mean it. I do mean it.
I guess I have to know what it is that you're looking for, out of a hotel. Like you mentioned it, but I don't know if that Airbnb, you're going to get, number one, you need to be booking with a super host. It sounds like, Marsh. If you
That's
book
what I was
with a
about to
super
say.
host, you're going to be
I have booked with Superhost.
And you had a super time, didn't you?
Was that incident with the Superhost? I bet not. I bet
I
it
didn't
wasn't.
book that one. I didn't
See
book
what I'm
that
saying?
one. I
It's
will say
Superhost.
There's a rapper,
Superhost.
Marsh, that has a song. I don't know his name. I don't listen to it either, but he says, "You got to pay the calls to be the boss." That's what he says. You have to pay.
That's Boss Man D-Lo.
This
Boss
was
Man
not a
D-Lo.
cheap,
Whoever it is.
where they stay was not a cheap hotel, or excuse me, was not a cheap Airbnb when my family came. I will say I always look at the comments when we get an Airbnb. I am constantly looking at the comments to try to figure out, okay, what are people complaining about, and if their complaints are not something that I would complain about, like one that I was just looking at one for a different trip, and it was like, it's right above a bar, it's loud until 3 a.m. To me, I'm like, I don't care. I very well might be at that bar until 3 a.m. This sounds enticing for me. But if they're saying furniture isn't that comfortable, then I'm going to be like, then it's probably really bad. Like if the furniture is so bad that you need to acknowledge it in a review, the furniture must be terrible, is the lesson that I've learned. But I know what I'm going to get out of a hotel every single time I book one, right? If I book at the right order, at the right chain, I know what I'm going to get. With an Airbnb, I feel like half the time I'm like, this might not be great.
This is true, but it depends on what your agenda is, I think. It depends on what your agenda. If your agenda is to go for a nice, wholesome family event and you're headed to, I don't know, Disneyland, right, Marsh? Going to Disneyland or going to do something wholesome, and you're not going to be in the room. You need a place to lay down. You want it to be comfortable in the way you said, but really you're going to be out of the hotel. That's the way to go. People are getting Airbnbs when it's a hardcore party, and the party may come back to the spot. Like you want the Airbnb because you want to pull up. You don't want to worry about parking. You don't want to have to worry about the person in the next room hearing them. People seeing what you're walking down the hallway doing. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever that is, Airbnb has its advantages. But I feel you on the ceiling falling through. I did when you made a point there. I also wanted to say this. It's a point. You said it was not a cheap. It was a pretty pricey area.
Price tag.
To be fair, your critique of Airbnb in Florida is just not fair because there's nothing that's cheap in Florida unless you're in like that little panhandle area. Nothing's cheap. So how do you quantify that?
I'll acknowledge that you're not wrong. Nothing in this part of Florida is cheap. You are correct, especially where we are. The double-edged sword is that.
That's a flex right there, Ricky.
No, it's just that everybody knows.
No.
That's not. Y'all are taking
where he's at.
Y'all are taking connotations.
Nothing is cheap, but it's especially not cheap where Marsh is located.
Not because I'm in a great spot, but because people want a vacation down here, so they know that they can charge an arm and a leg to stay here. But I would say that Airbnbs are getting more and more where you, and I will not go after the other arm of the the VRBO group. Although I'll say a lot of people, like, I know they run ads right now. VRBO's like, we're not. They'll make the joke that we're not Airbnb with Nick Saban. I'm sorry, but like every single thing that's on VRBO is on Airbnb. This is not a different optionality. These are the same listings, so I don't want to hear that you guys are somehow different. You're saying, oh, people can, you don't have to worry about people looking at you. You don't have to worry about parking. There's a lot of places that don't have parking in cities with the Airbnb. It's kind of an upstate. I mean, where it's just like, you better figure out your own parking. There's no parking here. And then a lot of them are putting cameras in, and they'll be like, no additional guests, and then you'll get a cleaning charge because you brought home two people with you that weren't originally on the number of people that were staying, and you exceeded their so-called guest limit.
But you know what didn't happen? The ceiling didn't fall to the floor.
In a hotel, a ceiling didn't fall to the floor either. And I guarantee you, I think this would be the biggest thing, is that if something like that were to happen at a hotel, the remedy for it would be instantaneous. Because when you are staying at an Airbnb,
that's true.
They're calling up, right? So my mom was dealing with this, and she goes, well, they called the AC company that's going to come out. It's 4:30 in the afternoon in South Florida in December. You aren't getting around South Florida at that time conveniently or quickly. Not to mention that now you've got an AC company that you're not the priority. It's not like this is we are coming to you first. But if something like that happened in a hotel room, they'd be like, come on down, we're going to get you a different room. We're going to move you into somewhere that's better. We're probably going to comp you a night, which Airbnb, these people did not comp them any night. So my mom's now dealing with, like, I would like some money back from this challenge that I'm dealing with. A hotel's putting you up, and you got that. Not to mention, if you're staying at enough hotels, you are getting points, which you end up earning and getting free nights on. You don't get that with Airbnb.
I think you just let Mama. Go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry.
I mean, first of all, shout out to Mama. She had a terrible experience. That's not cool. She had a
terrible experience.
And those things happen. I think anytime you do the traveling a lot, you're gonna have one or two of those stories probably per year.
100%.
That's just how the game goes. I don't care if you hotel, I don't care if you motel, Holiday Inn. You're just gonna have one of those stories when you travel a lot. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, there are definitely some pros and cons. I'll piggyback a little bit on what Yale says. If we coming with the family, you got your boo there, y'all just chilling, y'all doing restaurants and taking pictures, and y'all just do the hotel because you like Marsh said, you know what you're gonna get. But if you activated, and you out here you trying to get active, then there are some advantages that you have dealing with an Airbnb that a hotel can't get you. You know what I mean? So, and if you pick the right Airbnb, but hopefully you've done that, then you already know those advantages going into it. So then it's not an issue with certain things. So, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, Marsh, but you're definitely not right.
So here's another issue that I have. Don't worry, I'm taking notes on all the things we got to cover on this. The other challenge that I have, and I don't think either of you would quite addressed it on the cheap furniture side of things. These people are investing in these properties not because they live in it, but because they just want to make money off of it, right? If they get 3 people to stay there in a month, it pays the mortgage plus $400, so they're in the green and they're good to go. Once a month, they have to put the $400 into upkeep, but they're not investing in high quality stuff. And I think this is a little indicative of what we've become slightly as a society, because I think there's other apps that are in the same way, is that when these people make it their full-time gig, it's how can I make this as cost-effective for me as the host? Mm-hmm. And I get that. We're trying to make money. But when you walk into a place, my wife and I, we were on our honeymoon, and we had a number of Airbnbs because we were kind of darting around to a bunch of different cities. And one of them we walked into, the couch was stiff as a board. It had not been cleaned. There was dust everywhere. The bed was not comfortable one bit. And it just was not an environment where you're walking in and being like, oh, this is so relaxing. And I don't care if you're going to have a party or you're going for a nice little getaway. You still want to go to a place at the end of the day where you're like, I can relax here for 25 minutes, for 3 hours, whatever it might be. And I think we got all these people they're just putting cheap furniture in. They don't live in these homes, so there's no care to make this thing feel like you're staying at somebody's place. They just, like, you're not going to walk in and see, the original 10 Star Wars comics on the wall. One,
No.
because you'd probably get robbed and I would lose all my good
You saw
collection there.
that? We're gonna change this episode to the Flex episode, the Marsh
This
Flex.
is
There he
that
was again.
That one
There he
wasn't
was
not a
again.
flex. I'll give you that.
Hit him with the
That
flex.
one
Hit him with the
had
flex.
had to show off the Star Wars collection there. But like, you're not going to see that. You're just going to see cliche things. And if I'm staying at it, like, I want to feel like I'm in a community, not just another number going through. At least in a hotel, I know I'm just a number going through, but I know that they're making up for it with a very comfortable bed and taking care
Marsh,
of it.
call it out. Call it out. Marsh, which hotel are you speaking of? Let's go ahead and give him a little props. Let's call it out, baby.
All right.
Who is it, Marsh?
I'm a Marriott. I'm a proud Marriott member. I will seek them out when I can. This has nothing to do with recent politics, but I used to be on Hilton, but Hilton, the rewards just didn't go as quick, and I like the Marriott ones better, so I moved to Marriott.
Hilton was dragging their feet on those reward points.
Yeah, so I'm staying away from anything, on that beef grind, but Marriott does me good. I know what ones to get. I know what ones not to get. Because all these chains will have varying tiers, and there's certain, like, look, if somebody wants to get in here and be like, no, you're telling me a Best Western is better than an Airbnb? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying a Motel 6 or a Days Inn is better than an Airbnb, but I'm saying that at this point I would also argue this. Actually, no, let's finish up the cheap furniture comment before I segment us in a different direction. No one's putting care into these things. They're putting in cheap furniture.
Muted, Yells.
Yells muted.
Yikes, my bad. Not muted. Maybe it just didn't want me to say this. No, but you led into another point there, and I know you keep us organized.
Maybe that's where we're going. We'll see.
What's that?
Keep going. Maybe we'll just lead right into it.
Yeah, it's where we are as a society today, though. Like, what do you do? That's everyone is shrinking things down for ROI, and just the level of customer service with anything. It's just atrocious. Anywhere you have to ask a human to do something, more times than not, it's shit. Like, it's minimal effort. It's how much can I get back? Like, there's not even a courtesy to try and attempt to be customer service friendly in a lot of realms. So yeah, when you talk Airbnb, I mean, it is. I understand how you can say it's a crapshoot, but I don't think customer service or them a timely response. I can say I don't think that I've ever expected timely response in an Airbnb. I don't think I've ever expected for there to not be something wrong. I think I went into it like, this is somebody's house, and I'm not certain. I'm pretty sure they don't live how I live, or right, or they don't operate. That was the expectation. Or I was like, hey, this is probably somebody, like you said, this is their business. They're probably not in this city or state. Somebody else is coming. Whatever half-ass job they did, they were going to do. They hired somebody that did an even more half-ass job. They did half of the half-ass job they were going to do. So here's the expectation when I come in. So let me just enjoy that I got a lot of space in an area that I wanted for the parking. The customer service part, man, it bleeds into everything. If we want to start talking fast food or a restaurant or anything here, I think what you're saying about Airbnb is the same across the board.
And yeah. Go ahead, Rick. You got anything on that? On the cheap?
No, actually I don't.
I would say this, and I want to clarify before we keep this conversation going. If you have maybe my mother does Airbnb. She has a suite above a hair salon that she owns that she rents out. If you'd like to stay there, very highly reviewed. I have no issue with people that own Airbnbs. I have friends that have Airbnbs that it's not a home that they live in, they rent it out. I completely understand the financial value that people get from it. I am not here to crap on the opportunity that people have. You make money on it, you can make a business on it. That's great. Good for you. Hat tip. That's what this country's built on, is people being able to make small businesses. Honestly, having a handful of Airbnbs, if you're running it right, that's good on you. I'm not trying to dismiss that. Props to anybody that does it. The challenge is that in my experience, the majority of them, maybe not necessarily the vast majority, are not run with the care and compassion of saying, I want you to enjoy this trip. It's how many corners can I cut, and how many pieces of property can I own to undercut somebody else so that I can make the most money on it.
And that's why for Airbnb you can't go no less than Superhost. For that reason alone. Does it guarantee that everything's going to be great? No, but your chances of having a better stay increases significantly by having a super host. Those people work very hard to get that title,
Right.
and they can lose it very simply. So if anybody's going to go out their way, if there's going to be some form of decent customer assistance, it's going to be through the super host and only through the super host. Is I have any expectations at all.
And the super at bare minimum, they're gonna leave you a little special treat if you want it or not. Like they're gonna do a little something. That's how they get the super in front of their name.
Correct.
But I would say, like I don't. You're saying that they need to go away, or they're not on the same
I'm
level.
saying they need to go away.
Well, let me say this: they're not going anywhere. They're going to dominate. They're going to squeeze out the hotels. As much as we think hotels have been an institution, you got like your BlackRocks, Vanguard. You got everyone buying up the homes. They're not just buying them up for renters. And if they cannot rent them to a renter, they will be Airbnb at an astronomical price. And that's what commercialization is, right? It'll just become like a Walmart or anything else. So whatever level of customer service you're getting right now, it's going to get worse because there's going to be more of them.
So I love that you brought that up, because that's where I wanted to go next, was that these are being purchased up left and right. Now, Rick and Yells, do you both own the home that you live in?
Yes.
Well, I rent out mine.
Okay. So I do not. And that's fine. That's the situation that I'm in. But a big challenge with people that are looking to buy a home is that at this point, especially in areas that are maybe more Airbnb heavy, that because of the tourism to it, like my home state is very tourist based, which means that people want to go and they want the, in the mountains kind of very peaceful experience. But the challenge is that people are buying up homes that prevent other early homeowners from getting in. And it's not the person that buys one Airbnb and it's their side hustle. They've got maybe two or three other homes they own, and then they have their own. That is whatever. It's the people like Yelzy you're talking about, these big institutions that come in, they buy a boatload of them. I know New York City is running into this challenge where they even had to institute where if you don't live in the home for, I think, at least 50% of the time, you cannot Airbnb it. Like there was some, I don't know if it passed or not, but some attempt, because so many of these buildings were being turned into essentially Airbnb hotels by a bunch of the hosts, because they just were buying up 6-7 apartments. They never live in it, and that's challenging for people, especially in major metropolitan areas, to be able to afford a home, because now you're competing against either somebody that's got 20 houses or a big institution who is then either just going to rent out that home to an individual homeowner, or, which they probably make more money if they're comfortable with the churn of it, doing Airbnb and renting these out at extremely high prices.
This whole conversation feels it feels like it can lean, we stay away from this on this show, but it feels like it can lean into being political, honestly, because simply put, like as someone that owns, and I own one and I rent it out and then I rent another one, and listen, you said, like, yeah, I would like 500 more. I would like to own as much as I want, and I want to rent them all out. That's capitalism, baby. I want it. Yes, give it all to me. But I guess that's where the other side comes in. There has to be some kind of regulation. Finding the right happy medium with that regulation is the key. What you just said sounds ridiculous to me, though. To tell someone they have to live, like, I don't agree with that one. That's insane to me.
I don't know what the actual legislation is. I do not live in New York City. I just know that Airbnbs in New York City are a challenge. I don't think that's the biggest. We don't need to go that route. That's not my biggest complaint of like, oh, I can't buy a house now. I can't buy a house for a lot of different reasons. That's a small one of those. On top of maybe not necessarily wanting to buy a house because of any different reason. But I think it's from the user experience or the end user experience. When you're walking into a place that just does not feel... Early days of Airbnb felt nice because you could walk in and you're like, okay, I'm respecting the person's house that I'm renting out, or the apartment. And this feels very much lived in. Like I feel the character of a home. Today, it's been just so businessized, I don't know the best way to frame it, that you just don't feel like you got that like homey appeal when you're walking into an Airbnb.
Let me ask both of y'all then. Rick, you too. Both of y'all. So would you, based on what Marsh is saying, let's understanding the challenges, right? Do you prefer a bed and breakfast or do you prefer a Airbnb?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever actually been in an official bed and breakfast. So I don't even have that as an option for it. I know about
You
all
know one thing is
inclusive.
coming with it, right? You know one thing's included
Well,
without a
on
doubt.
all my trips, there's one thing coming with it. So I don't know what you're talking about, but
Oh,
the answer's
whoa
always yes
now.
for me.
Yeah,
Whoa
I was
now.
referring to breakfast. It's in the name. It's in the name. That's what I was talking about.
Well,
You're like, I can't guarantee that one.
all I'm responsible for is all I'm responsible for. I can guarantee my parts on my end. That's all I can guarantee.
All right,
What
before we
about you,
move,
Marsh?
have I stayed at a bed and breakfast?
Mm-hmm.
I have, and I'll also be at a different. I'll be at my second official bed and breakfast in March, and I would prefer an Airbnb to an actual bed and breakfast
Oh wow.
because a bed and breakfast, it's you don't have the new amenities that a hotel provides you, but you have the same limitations that a hotel gives you, right?
Mm.
The hotel is, or excuse me, a bed and breakfast. You just get a room and a bathroom, right? And maybe you get like a studio bed and breakfast, but like you don't have a kitchenette. You don't have any ability to make your own food. And we're a big make your own food at home couple when we travel because we like to. I like control of what I eat. We will eat out, but I like to be like, you know what? I just want a simple meal tonight, or I want a simple lunch or breakfast or whatever. Um, and a bed and breakfast, you just kind of limited in ways that at least with a kid, or excuse me, with a hotel, kind of know. But the hotel in the ones that I've stayed at, the bed and breakfast, they're just older buildings because it's from a different era, right? Bed and breakfasts are from a simpler time period in terms of what was given to you, right? Bed and breakfast was the cheap option compared to a hotel, so you skimped out on some things, not skimped out in a negative way. So I would prefer an Airbnb because you're actually going to get hopefully kitchen and a little bit more space than a bed and breakfast.
So
So
all
Marsh,
this,
your order is hotel, Airbnb, and then bed and breakfast.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate.
Where does the Motel 6 and Mustang Inn, where does that fall under?
I am broke and I have nowhere else to go. That's where that falls. That is desperation time. If you ever see me at a Motel 6, you'd be like, that guy is hurting. He's in trouble, and we should get him some help.
he is
That's
ducking.
that's
He's
the
ducking
situation
something.
I'm in.
He is on the run.
And that man is
He
on
is
hard
on the
times. It's funny. So growing up in Vermont, we did not. We had a couple hotels, but we lived in a small little town, and we would go up to the big city of Burlington. And on the way up, yeah,
Good.
big city, baby.
Big City
Big-
Burlington, huh?
Yeah, it's like,
Shout
oh
out to
boy.
Big City
Oh
Burlington.
shit!
Yeah, it's like holy cow, they got stoplights here, and my goodness, this is civilization.
Oh my God.
But I remember on the way up, the first like you kind of get onto this entrance road in this town called Shelburne, and there was a giant Days Inn, and they had an outdoor pool, which as you could just imagine in Vermont, an outdoor pool is really not that great. But I remember every time we would drive up to Burlington, I'd be like, man,
That was
if
the
I
dream.
ever got to stay at that Days Inn, I know I've made it because that thing was awesome. I never stayed there, and it's closed now, probably because nobody wanted to stay there. But I remember just like, whoa, that thing is sick. But if I stayed at a Days Inn now, we're in serious trouble. I would mention.
Send
That's
help
actually
fast.
that's not even metaphorical. That's if you're the Days Inn, you are in serious trouble until you check out. Everyone is
Yeah.
in serious trouble until anything's possible. Anything's possible.
It's a dangerous.
Aren't they the ones
dangerous
that have the carpet on the walls?
I've never been honored with staying there, so I don't know the answer to that.
Have you ever seen that shit?
Nah, it's carpet in the wall. Is it carpet on the walls?
I think so. One of them has carpet on the walls. If that doesn't sound crazy enough for anyone,
Well, on the Mustang Inn, they got all kind of stuff, man. They got
What is a Mustang Inn? I've never even heard of.
it's a particular hotel that you pay by the hour.
oh man,
You pay by the hour?
yes,
Yes.
Absolutely.
You're not joking. This is literally an establishment that you pay by the hour.
I am dead ass. You walk in, you pay. You might say, "Yo, I would 2 hours. Let me get 2 hours on it." Like you buying
What are
gas.
you doing with
you know?
them 2 hours?
Hey, let me get 2. And then when you
You're
walk
not
in,
using
listen,
the tub. I tell you that much.
it's already
Well, you might be.
primed for whatever it needs to be primed for. When you walk in, there's a. Well, I haven't been in. I'm about to tell you how long it's been since I've been in one. There used to be like a portable CD player on the counter, and it was stuck to the dresser, so you couldn't steal it. It didn't come up. You know what I mean? So if you had your little music or you want your radio going, boom, it's already there. You cut the TV on, it's already on maxed out channels already. It starts on maxed out channels. There's no ESPN. You're not watching a basketball game. None of that's happening. You know what I mean? You cut the lights on, then the neon light glows. You got rainbows and unicorns and stars on the wall, and it's a whole situation, brother.
Don't skip the mirror. They all have mirrors and they all have a hot tub. They all have the jacuzzi
Oh yeah, all
tub.
and I'm talking about ceiling to rooftop mirrors.
Yes, and
Everything, baby.
The one on you said it, the one on the ceiling.
And the one on the ceiling.
Very
necessary. So you looking up.
So, you know what? I gotta respect this. That is very clearly a brand that said we're gonna go for a very specific clientele, and we're gonna have an audience that's gonna be very loyal to us for a couple of specific reasons.
Oh yeah.
But they know who their audience is, and they are not trying to be anything different than that. I respect that. Honestly, I respect.
And as
that.
a
They're
high
not trying to
school
be high
student,
end.
and as a high school student,
Whoa.
that like listen, you can't be at your parents' house and you trying to get some freedom. You got $15 an hour.
You might be getting more than freedom at that joint. You might be getting a lot more freedom, maybe a whole lot of something that's not leaving you anytime soon either. It might be what you're getting.
If you want to see what
Okay.
one looks like, Marsh, you might want to that little stop you were talking about on the last podcast. There's probably one right across the street from exit 80. I think you said it was.
Oh, there might be. You know, I'm gonna check if there's a Mustang Inn around here.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna be an
now
inn of
that's the
some
one
sort.
over by me. They probably got all kinds of names. There used to be a Tillwell Inn. Like they got it. Don't the name don't let the name fool you. The more obscure the name, the more you know you're in the right place.
What you need to know is
No.
that it ends with an INN.
Yes,
That
that's the
pretty
only
much
part
is
you
what
need
it
to
does.
know.
Yeah. What do you think? I thought it was IN. No, come on. Days Inn is the same thing. I know
Hey,
an
it could
inn.
be like a KK. You never know.
No, look, I mean, this has got to be, it's clearly a Texas thing because I'm looking at, I've got Houston, Missouri City, Paducah,
Yeah.
Houston, Dallas, Houston, Jackson, Mississippi, and the only non-Texas one is in Jackson, Mississippi. 2.2 stars.
You're not there for the stars, Marsh.
Hey,
The sign-
hey,
This one is-
at the Mustang Inn, you create your own stars. you are the star. We don't give you stars at Mustang Inn because you are the star here at Mustang Inn.
So this is the last review. The size of the room, that's it. The shower curtain was missing. Something was in the microwave that didn't seem natural. That's just that. If that doesn't get you excited,
It's not.
They're
You shouldn't. If you go, so look, if you go to a Mustang Inn or a Diamond Inn or whatever it's called, you shouldn't even see a shower curtain or a microwave. It should be the last thing you even notice.
If you're checking the microwave, you're already in last place.
yeah, you are. You lost.
right.
You shouldn't be checking the microwave.
I mean, this is sort of one of those joints. It would appear that if you think you're getting something good, like what fantasy world were you living in?
Yeah, everybody who pulls into those type of establishments know what they're pulling into. You don't accidentally pull into those. You know what
No.
you're getting into. There are business deals that take place. There's all kind of reasons that people are there, and they all know what they're there for.
So I'm on Booking.com. It allows you to put like what you like and what you don't like. And this is the Missouri City, I think. Or no, this one is in Mississippi. Whatever. Anyway, the good part
That's probably the nicest hotel in Mississippi. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's go. The good part. What's the good part?
This is the good part. It's got 2 sentences. There was a Popeyes across the street,
Okay.
and the AC
Win.
worked. Those were the two
And-
positives.
alright.
The AC
Alright.
worked, and there was a Popeyes, so we got barely bubbles. I mean, that's how excited people were. There was a
We can cheer
Popeyes
for
across the
that.
street, we got the bubbles. The not so good. The room was not clean. The bed sheets were clearly used. The towel and washcloth were dirty. No part of the room was clean. The TV was fuzzy and limited. The lock on the door was broken. Even for the $46, it was overpriced.
He paid $46? What a that's
In
that's
November of 2025. In November of 2025, Michael.
No, $46 probably gives you like half a day. Like it's probably almost the whole day before
he got robbed. Really, it's it's like $18 an hour.
Oh my god!
And I stand by. This is the one in Mississippi, Marsh.
This is the one in Mississippi.
Still sounds like
somebody
one of the
really
finer
wants
establishments I've ever heard of in Mississippi.
This is in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
If somebody really, it's right off of I-20. You just hop off of I-20. You can't miss it. You take a left at the Jasco BP, and there it is for you. There's your Mustang and just don't look in the microwave. You'll be showering in public pretty much. And there's a Popeyes across the street. What more do you need?
Perfect.
That's probably what was in, honestly. That was probably what was in the microwave. Was some leftover Popeyes that somebody needed to heat up. And they're like, maybe this is a bad idea.
Funny story about Jackson, Mississippi, while I talk crap about it. This was a while back, but it has not changed much. Like every year in another city is like 10 in Mississippi. It takes so long for things to catch on there. And I remember going, like I have family there, and they were like, "Oh, city boy, come to town. We're going to show you a good time." We're going to show you a good time. Marsh left during oh my God, Marsh. Okay.
Sorry, my cat decided to try to sneak in here, so I had to
that's normally what happens at the Mustang Inn too.
That's wide looking.
So cousin's like, yeah, we're gonna take the city boy out for you. He gonna have a good time. So I was like, yeah, let me show him how it's done in Mississippi. You know how you do a little something extra when you're trying to show out in another city. I should not have. I should have just stayed as I was. They took me to Red Lobster. Not joking.
Ooh, really? That's not that man. I thought it's a lot. It could be a lot worse than Red Lobster, bro.
So at 9:00, they took up all the chairs. And the DJ came in because not only was it Red Lobster, it was Club Red Lobster.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. I got some cheddar biscuits in one hand and your mama's biscuits in the other hand. That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is not a joke. I swear.
I bet you had a time of your life. I bet you had the time of your life.
I had a pretty good time, and I do think there was probably like a Mustang Inn, like somewhere close around. I'm not joking at all. Yeah, you leave there and you go have a good time for a couple hours. But yeah, a Red Lobster that turned into a club. Club Red Lobster. That was the spot.
Club Red Lobster. I'm with it. Houston, can we turn the Red Lobster to a club? We can do like a one night only Club Red Lobster. I'm down. Call me. I'm down.
Jesus. Let me ask you this though. Let's come back to Marsh because we all, we kind of collaborate on topics, we mess around. But Marsh, this was yours, and we know this was intimate and personal for you. Go ahead and call that host out. Call him out. Why not? You're not going back there. Call him out. Who is it?
I didn't book it, so I don't know. I don't know who it was, but I will call out. I don't remember his name, but when we were on our honeymoon, we had a host who was trying to make us pay for damages to a bench in the bathroom that apparently we left a wet towel on. It was a wicker bench in the bathroom. And so what do you do when you get out of a shower? You take your towel off. And so we had put it on this bench sitting in the bathroom. And they tried to make us pay for a new bathroom because the supposed towels had damaged the wicker so much that there was mold in 2 days' time.
That's because they didn't come in 4 weeks to clean the damn room. That's why.
Well, wicker doesn't go in a bathroom.
And thank you, first off. And then the second argument that we made was that why, if I can't put something on anything in a bathroom, something wet, if I can't put something wet on it in a bathroom, why did you put it in the bathroom? Whether it's wicker, marble, pine wood, I don't care. If water can't go on it, why are you putting it in the bathroom? And then at the very least put a sign up that says, hey, don't put anything on this. And I think it's stupid, but I wouldn't do it. And they did none of those things. Airbnb did not side with us. They kept siding with the host. despite
really?
all of my arguments, until I got my credit card involved. And I was like, hey, what am I supposed to do? How am I in the wrong here? And then credit card calls me, their like team, and they say, hey, we're disputing this charge. We don't think that you should have to pay it because they investigated it. And then very conveniently, right after that, Airbnb sends me an email and says, we're really happy to let you know that we've decided to not charge you. And I said, no, you didn't decide that. My credit card decided that. And then you just wanted to try to save face with me. So get out of here. I'm not taking that. And
Tell them that, Marsh.
I did not respond. I was very just annoyed by it, and I took the
You had
practice of, I'm done.
You let him off the hook, Marsh. You
I let him off the hook. I let him off the hook. I'll admit it. You're muted again, Yells.
You're muted again.
Gen X over there.
What are y'all doing to me, man? What are y'all doing to me? Did Mama Marsh
Classic Gen X.
Did Mama Marsh, from her experience, did she get a refund?
She is working on it. She's trying to figure it out. She got I think they gave her 30% off, which is the most that you're like as a host. It's not the most you're allowed to give up, but they gave her the most that Airbnb, I think, as an institution can like give you back. And then the rest of it is really on the host to decide, and the host is, as far as I know, to this point now. She's going to listen to this on Thursday. I'm going to get a text either Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, and she's probably going to update me on where it's at. So I'll
Mama
let
Marsh,
you know.
we got your back. If we need to come through there and
flowers
handle
from Mama
something,
Marsh. Yeah.
black gloves,
If
black
we need to
mask,
pull
we
up
got
more
you.
Marsh, we're gonna pull up now.
Yeah.
She's going to be very happy to hear this. I can promise you that. She's gonna send me some text. It's like, oh my god, this is great. It's probably what my phone's gonna ding. We've been going for quite a while. I think it's time to not pay the bills by somebody who didn't sponsor us.
All right, so today's show is not sponsored by. Let me give you a little breakdown here. Are you tired of never getting the big piece of chicken at dinner? Is your old lady still giving you the lip? Then you need to get your hands on tough acting talcum powder. Take back your manhood and put these people in their damn place. Slap on some tough acting talcum powder and get to slapping. I like it. I like it, actually. Get to slapping. Here a slap. Oh, there's a slap. Everywhere. Slap, slap. Look at the backhand. Look at the backhand on it. Oh, boss talking crazy at the job. Slap. Oh, you thought it was funny to get my order wrong? French fry lady? Slap. Try bringing dignity back to the name, Earl. Tough acting talcum powder. Grab some grip and get to getting. I mean, get to slapping. Tough acting. I'm sorry. Tough acting talcum powder.
Good job.
There you go.
Well done. Thank you, Talcum Powder, for sponsoring this and a number of battery lawsuits.
Yeah. Hey, you have to keep your hands soft. Like if you're, I mean, like if you have to smack somebody, you want to keep your hands soft if it's required.
You gotta keep your hands off all the time.
You say that like there's some experience behind it.
I'm just saying, look, I tell you what right now, I haven't been to Airbnb and had the ceiling fall. I would have had to powder the hands up. It would have been LeBron time. Yep.
To give the host credit, they did send from Walmart like 12 bath towels. That was it. That's the extent of the assistance they provided.
That's such a weird.
Help clean up. Except they chose white bath towels. Like, if you're gonna send something to help clean up a mess, don't use white. Like, those are unusable by anybody else. Like, they're gonna go.
They were the cheapest towels. That's why.
They were definitely the cheapest, but that's like some Mustang Inn stuff. You're gonna be like, these are dirty. Clearly, these are not be using these white towels. At least get like black. You can hide the dirt and the mold spores that you're having.
That's a terrible. Where were you guys? That's a terrible experience. Where were you guys again?
In northern West Palm Beach.
I was gonna say my best experiences at Airbnb has been in Florida, and it's not even close. Like Florida is the best Airbnb spot known to man to me.
I'll never stay. Actually, you know what? Now that my mind is getting refreshed, this is Airbnb horror stories. We had one. We had booked an Airbnb on the West Coast. It was our first summer down here. We were here for Fourth. It was our first 4th of July. We were going to get out of town and stay somewhere else. So we had on a location on the West Coast. 2 or 3 weeks before the 4th of July, we get a notification by the owner that says, "Hey, I'm canceling your stay because I have a long-term renter that's going to like stay through the 4th." So we got kicked out of the Airbnb within 3 weeks of it. We had people coming down that were going to watch that, so we still wanted to leave. We ended up going down to Key West and staying on a sailboat, and it sounded like it would be really nice. It was not, because you were not allowed to flush anything down the toilet.
What? You were on the poop cruise.
So that wasn't fun. I will say this: the hosts were very, very nice people. But as we're going out there,
probably very constipated. Shit.
As we're going out there, you have all you could take was a dinghy to get out there, or you would pay $10 one way on a water taxi, which we were like 22, fresh out of college. We're like, $20? No way. We're cheap. We're broke. We're staying on a boat. What is going on here? So we weren't going to do that. So we had to shower in the public showers every single night that we wanted to shower, which is a humbling experience. And so one night we were on the boat. It was like 9 o'clock.
This
and
sounds
we said, "Hey, we want to."
Awful.
Bro.
Sounds what?
This sounds
so
awful.
we wanted to go shower.
No, it's time to pack my bag. It's time to go back to the highs, man. I can't.
The wife was definitely interested in that option. I was like, "We paid. We're here. Let's just figure this out."
You toughing it out, man? Hell no.
We tried to. So we're taking the dinghy back to shore. It's 9 o'clock at night. It's pitch black. And as we're going, the dinghy very clearly has a hole in it because the water is like tipping to get into this thing as we're going along. Now, you might not know this. Maybe you do. But if you are on a boat at night, you need to have a light on it to show where you are. Well, this dinghy did not have a light, but don't worry, our Airbnb host came prepared with a headlamp. So he slapped the headlamp on. And so we're going through, halfway through the ride, Coast Guard comes up. And they're like, "What are you doing?"
Y'all smuggling. Y'all smuggling.
That's what it looks like.
Y'all some mules.
Coast Guard pulls us over. Essentially, they escort us into shore. And so they get their flashlights out and they're shining it around and they're like, "Where's the life jackets?" And the guy's like, "I don't have any." And they're like, "Well,
whoa, y'all didn't have life jackets?
You can't take anybody on a boat without life jackets." So problem number one. And they're like, "Well, where's your light, dude?" And he goes, "I got a headlamp on." And they're like, "Your headlamp, first off, is not enough. Second of all, it's not even on. Like, the battery is dead on this thing." So we're just cruising around in pitch black on the verge of being sunk in this dip at 9 o'clock in the waters of Key West. It was the worst experience that we've ever had. That is not an Airbnb fault. That is not what I'm blaming on. That was just a terrible experience.
Listen.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how cocaine made it into the East Coast.
Hey, and Marsh, I can't believe you told me this story, and I know you telling me a real story, which kind of like really boggles my mind.
It's crazy. For
years and years and years and years, Marsh and Yales, I've watched movies, and when I be hearing those stories about what white people be doing in those movies, and they sound preposterous. Like, this would never happen in real life. Marsh, today years old. What I'm finding out, yes, this does happen in real life. White folk will find themselves in the damnedest of places and the damnedest of situations, and instead of saying, "I'm getting the hell out of here," you got old Captain Marsh here says, "No, we're going to toughen it out with a clown that has a light, well, a helmet, and a light's not even fucking on." Yo, this is wild. Those white folk problems those white folk stories really be happening in real life.
Rick, I think like to kind of put a title on, like, we get into some shit. They get into precarious situations.
It was pretty precariously shitty. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my god!
For many reasons. It was. I'll admit this. At night, when you were were not being wafted with smells of your own toilet. It was very peaceful. No sound. You're just staring up at the stars. That part was really nice.
The ocean
The
at
rest of
night
it
is
was
beautiful.
terrible.
The ocean at night
Yeah,
is
but now
beautiful.
you gotta stare at the stars while covering your nose, or you like this staring at the
Hey,
stars.
he's still
Brother.
glossing right over this shit though. He's glossing. You're 22. Your digestive system is rocking and rolling. Like y'all did. What did y'all do? You didn't.
I would hold my breath for as long as I had to go to the bathroom, and it was just let's see if I could survive. And it was all breathe out the mouth.
But
Like
you
there was no
couldn't
nose
flush, so
breathe.
y'all would go. You
Everybody
went.
was just loading up. He said everybody was loading up, bro.
It was
The bases was
it
loaded.
was
Oh,
Yeah,
there were
they
other
were
people.
holding.
There were other people.
it was the two hosts that lived there, and then it was the two of us. That was
But
it.
they used the bathroom.
They had there's two bathrooms, believe it or not. So it was like one in one bedroom, and then one in the other, and just sensitive septic systems that did not
that's-
allow for
Jesus.
anything
That's-
beyond that. It was a rough time. I'll say that. We would spend every single day, the entirety of the day, in Key West because we didn't want to go back to the boat. Like hotel or Airbnb or whatever. If you're doing something in the morning, you like to be able to go back home,
Right.
rest up, sit, and then go back out. We did not have. We were literally out from like 9 a.m. till 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's the
All
only
day.
time you can use a toilet like a regular person.
It was the only time we could do anything. It was not. It was not
That's
enjoyable.
crazy.
But that is not Airbnb's fault. So back on topic. One of the only last things on the Airbnb thing I want to talk about, the cost. So you're talking about you go to Florida and you get your good Airbnbs and you got to pay to get a good Airbnb. I'll give you that. That one is factual. However, when Airbnb first came out, the appeal to it was that you could spend $100 a night on a really nice Airbnb and you would get all you could possibly need. It'd be right in the city center. You'd get it all compared to a hotel that would cost $400 or $500 a night. Those days are gone. If you're getting an Airbnb and a nice one, you are paying the exact same price that you are paying at a hotel. And on top of that, you get none of the amenities of the hotel, which is around the clock service if something goes wrong, people doing your laundry, well, not your laundry, but your towels. You got to clean up after yourself in an Airbnb. It's just you're paying the same amount, but you've lost the value of what it used to be, which was cheaper.
You ever seen you know who Tyrese is, Marsh?
The name's familiar.
He's in movies too. You definitely should know him from some movies.
Transformer.
Fast and Furious and Transformers.
Okay, yeah. Yep. Okay, I know
Looks,
what you're talking
looks
about.
like a little milk dud. He was on a show. I think he was on the what's the show with Charlemagne the God? Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he was on there, and he was talking about he doesn't do hotels. He doesn't do hotels for the same reason stuff happens at his house. He's like his jewelry comes up missing and all. He's like no one has answers. All you hear is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's like you know what happened. Hotels, like for all what you're saying about them cleaning up after you and all that other stuff. Again, I stand by Airbnb. That's not what you're using it for. You're using it for number one. Here's the primary thing. I think we're leaving out the obvious. When someone gets an Airbnb, they're normally getting a larger one. There's multiple different groups there, and you're sharing the cost. That's what brings it down, and that's the purpose for getting it. If you're getting just kind of like a solo dolo Airbnb, you probably should go get a hotel. I would agree with that.
Yep, I think you're spot on. It is certainly an audience play, right? If you're getting like, that's why my mom and the 6 folks that came down, you're not getting a hotel that can fit 6 people unless you're paying for the presidential suite, which is going to be $2,000 a night, right? And even then, you might be a little short on space. So you have me there, that Airbnb. But like, I would argue Airbnb used to be able to be, 2 people could stay there. You'd get a good option. And that's not to say that my wife and I have not had good Airbnb experience with the 2 of us. It's just the price of it is just a little bit out of control, especially in the tourist locations where we might go, where it's just not, you don't maybe have as many hotel options, so you're forced to end up with an Airbnb if you want to be in a place that's, more rustic than otherwise.
Paying for character. It's the same thing in life, though. You do know that a large pizza is now the same size as what used to be a medium pizza. That's how shit works, man.
Same size.
Yeah,
same
go look
size.
at what a large pizza you'd order from like Domino's or Pizza Hut used to be. It's the same size as what a medium pizza is. Now, a large pizza today is the size of what a medium pizza used to be. That's everything. Everything just gets. That's what it gets down to. Everyone's trying to make money, man. Airbnb is no different.
Rick, anything to add there?
What's that?
Stay home. Just stay home, then.
Got my last thing.
Marsh, after that incident happened with you, if I were you, I would be scared to do anything away from home for like 5 years in a row.
You know, it's amazing that Marsh is not like a hypochondriac. Some of these stories that you've told of what you've experienced, like Jesus, the box stuffing, the Airbnb, being stranded on a sailboat with no lifeboats and stuff, eating crickets. Like, my God, you're experiencing it all. But you got to get the other end of the spectrum, my brother. My God.
It's called being just poor enough to not be able to afford it, but just rich enough to not be broke. That's what this is called. Yeah, I'm in that sweet spot where these things are just part of life. They're non-negotiable parts of life because I haven't quite hit the higher tax bracket that allows me to do some different things. I will say this, and I think this is just as it relates to other things. I feel as if the plagues that have, or the challenges that have plagued Airbnb are very similar to that of like Uber or Lyft, where you used to be able to get an Uber and it was cheaper than a taxi cab. It was, you knew who you were getting, and that's, you're paying half the price of a taxi. Today, Rick, an Uber is hundreds of dollars. Like I've tried to get an Uber from an airport and they jack up the price. You're paying like $120. It's probably the cost of a plane ticket for an Uber, because everybody uses them. They've taken over the market so much that you're not getting the same value that you used to on an Uber.
Same thing. I was in New York last year. I stayed in Dumbo, a beautiful place in Brooklyn, and I had to I was flying technically out of Jersey. I forgot the name of the airport
Newark?
there, but yeah, $120 was the fee.
Whew.
$120, and you get and to get out there to Jersey in a situation like New York, you got to pay because there's no other way you can get there as fast. So they got you by your short and curlies, and so yeah, I fell victim to that. And so, but my biggest thing with Uber, I don't mean to slide onto the Uber side, but that's, if you want my gripes is on that side. I'm reminded every time I get an Uber that you don't need to know how to freaking drive an Uber, because these folks can't freaking drive, bro. Like,
they could not even have arms.
It's facts. Man, listen, it's so scary to drive Uber, to get an Uber ride, because these people really have no sense of direction, and typically because most of them are not from the city that they're Ubering, so you don't even know the freaking city. So certain common sense things that should lead the way, if you're from the city, you don't even have that. And Houston is not a place, especially at night, to be trying to guesstimating where you're going. Too many freeways, too many people, too many cars. I'm telling you, this is not the city for that.
And that's Uber is the reason why. Like, if I get an Airbnb, it's because I want to drive and I want to park. I Uber, like, I factor that into if I'm getting a hotel or Airbnb, or depending on where I'm going. Because if I'm at a hotel, I'm gonna Uber for certain. And it depends on where I am and what we're gonna be doing. This starts getting really pricey, really, really quick, unnecessarily, when the Airbnb can do just the same, though. Well, it has its purpose. It has its perks. I hear your gripe, Marsh, but it still has a place in society. It's just people have to be better people about how, like, once you find out who the host is, we're going to do a quick little segment where we just bash his ass. Like, people have to do a better job of maintaining comms, maintaining what it is they're doing. And like you said, even putting quality furniture, and I'm with you on that. They had a little cardboard, the little IKEA stuff that falls over. Like, oh, you broke a table.
Whoa.
No, it broke itself. I put a burger down on it.
Don't be smacking on IKEA, all right? I'm a big IKEA fan.
You know what I mean.
This desk is IKEA. This chair is IKEA. I love IKEA.
IKEA is great until you have to move it. Just don't move it. Wherever you put it at, leave it there. And IKEA's going to be fantastic.
Maybe this is a whole episode, I don't know, but I'm of the mindset, for the most part, and maybe it's a part of the price range of which I'm buying at. I'm not buying like Walmart, essentials brand stuff anymore. But like, if I buy something, chances are I'm probably just like, this is for this period of my life. And I'm a big like, when you move, let's maybe identify if there's furniture that we could adjust. I'm not saying it's all new furniture, but I'm definitely more of the maybe we get a new TV stand because I don't think this one's lasting enough, or I don't feel like moving it.
Even Marsh moves, he leaves his entire house and he starts over. That's what
That's
he's trying
not
to
true.
say.
Yeah, that's why I can't afford a house.
In a
That's why I
roundabout
can't
way.
afford a house.
More of the
Big
flex.
Big
More of the
flex has
Marsh
done it
flex.
again. Hit him with another flex, Marsh.
Let's see it. Hit the Hulk Hogan pose. West Palm Beach.
I'm
Let's
not-
see
Hit
it.
him with a flex, Marsh.
I'm walking into these. I have no defense opinion. I would say I am definitely not team taxi cab though, because to Rick, your point, I don't know that I've gotten into a taxi cab and I'm like, wow, what a great driver this person is. I'm more like,
and they're so
"Goddamn."
nice. Like, what a pleasant driver too.
Right. I remember once I was in college and we got a taxi. And me and my buddy, we were like, the traffic was so bad, and with taxis, the rough part is that you just watch the meter just run. Right? It doesn't.
It is. It
like
sucks.
at least with
Like
Uber,
having to see it.
I know what I'm saying.
There's nothing you can do about it.
No, and like sometimes I've been in a taxi, and I'm like, I think you're going slow, just to let that thing cook. Like there's no one in front of you. You could go 5 to 10 miles an hour faster. We could get there in 4 minutes quicker than we would otherwise. And you're just letting that thing. So we're sitting in just backed up traffic, and we had probably another 10, 15 blocks to go. And that meter is just running. And we're like, we're broke. We're in college. We can't afford it barely as it is. Like, we're already like wondering who's got the money for this thing. We just got out and left it. We're like in the middle of the street. It stopped. We're like, hey, we're good. Here's what's left on the meter. Here's what the meter says we owe you. We got to go. I'm not here to defend Uber or taxi cabs. I am
Been
not
there,
saying
done that.
that is just, it's cruel punishment when you're watching that meter just turn and turn, and you got nowhere to go. Just
You're making me
mercy
think about
of
one
us.
of my horror stories. I did have an Airbnb in Vegas one time. It's the only time I did an Airbnb in Vegas on only hotels afterwards. It it stunk. It smelled like curry. And there really shouldn't be curry in Vegas. I'm not gonna get it all, but it was terrible. Like I have a sensitive nose, bro. Like it was awful. And as you bring up taxi cabs, like the crazier part was I had to go to dinner, and I got out of left the Airbnb, got in a taxi cab, and I was concerned that they were gonna that I smelled like curry. Like, oh man, like I got in a taxi cab. Taxi cab smelled like feet. Like it was the worst shit ever. It was the worst shit ever.
You walked into dinner and these people were like, God damn, does this guy know that we can shower these days?
It's not me.
Must smell like curry.
Couldn't lie. Couldn't
curry.
tell anyone it wasn't me. Can't even bring it up.
Jeez.
Just buy shots. Just gotta buy shots.
That's rough.
They don't care if you stink. If you the one buying shots.
Yeah, just buy shots. Jeez.
He's not the guy that came and smelled like curry. He's the guy that bought shots.
Yeah, and
Right.
or
Yeah.
feet. None of my doing. It was awful. Awful. So
All right.
should Airbnb, is there like a grading system? Does anyone know what the B stands? I don't know what the B and B stands for. Do you know?
Yeah, it stands for bed and breakfast.
Does it?
Yeah, it's air bed and breakfast. Except they give you no breakfast. Like this, that's such a bald-faced lie. But yeah, it's Airbnb bed and breakfast, like cloud-based bed and breakfast. So air.
I didn't know that either.
Really?
I thought it might
I'm
be, but I was like,
breaking
we
news in
don't
this podcast.
get breakfast, so it can't be that. Like, there's no way.
Well, I would say at some bed and breakfast, you don't get breakfast either. Like the B&B I stayed at, you did not get breakfast unless you... Actually, I should say that. You got, the little tiny boxes of cereal that you could get.
Oh, you got an
That's
elementary school breakfast.
You got a continental breakfast.
No, that's not
Not
continental.
even
They give you
continental.
the little prison tray too. Like, geez, you got a little box.
No, they gave us... you could pick from like Cheerios,
No.
Corn
no.
Puffs, Fruit
That's
Loops, and Raisin Bran.
Hold up.
You can't sell me on being a bed and breakfast and not provide adequate breakfast. That
Did they
is
at
a
least
problem.
was it at least Honey Nut Cheerios?
They had both. It was
Okay.
it was
Oh.
your general. You know when you like go to Costco
Options.
or BJ's or Sam's Club and you can just get like the General Mills single serving cereal box. That's what they got. So you
cool.
got your pick of the litter of whatever General Mills was cooking up, and they had milk, and then they might have had like single serving Yoplait yogurts.
Man, Marsh,
And
I don't
then-
know why you have not booked your flight to Texas. Jeez, you're going the
Yeah.
wrong place.
down to Texas, man.
You are going.
Can't wait to go to the
wrong
Mustang
places.
Inn. I mean, I'm just gonna have a good time for.
Hey, based
however
on your
long I need it
experiences,
for.
Mustang Inn gonna sound pretty damn good.
I know this guy's like Popeyes across
Popeyes.
the street. I'm like, there's my breakfast. I don't need the
Listen.
microwave at that point. It's
Mustang
a private
Inn
room.
sounds
Why
like
do
a
I need a
white
shower
lady.
curtain?
Yeah, it's just you and your lady. Y'all know what y'all look like. You don't need no shower curtain.
Towel's dirty. I don't need it. I'm not there long enough for the towel. Like, I'll shower when I get home. What's the
There
big
you
deal
go.
here?
Hey, you also, I mean, of your own admission, you waited to take a shit until you got home on a sailboat too. So,
I did not admit to any of that. I just said that it was a very rough experience.
Attention.
so you did.
I-
So you
I
did.
yeah,
You took a
I told you the
non-flush.
basis.
You took a
I
non-flush
said the
bathroom
bases
break.
was loaded. The bases stayed loaded.
I don't think that my bowel movements need to be overanalyzed on a podcast. That's probably what I would leave you with on that one. Any mini wrongs before we close this thing out as we approach the conclusion here? Any mini wrongs from the week that we had?
Ooh.
Many wrongs from the week.
Have we ever discussed Chick-fil-A? I got a mini wrong. Have we ever discussed Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, I
We
think we
did?
did that one already.
Are you sure?
I don't
about
know.
that?
Did we?
Do you remember talking about Chick-fil-A, Marsh?
I don't know.
When's the last
I
time
don't
you've
recall.
been to Chick-fil-A?
Ooh, it's been a minute. I like Chick-fil-A, but I'm just not a fast food guy. So if you're gonna,
I had a
don't
good
really-
experience, Yales. I want to report he got it right that day at
got it
Chick-fil-A.
right.
He got it right.
They got mine right last week too. I was shocked. I wasn't going to take that route on Chick-fil-A. The route I was going to take is about how the menus, when you pull up Chick-fil-A, at least a lot of places here in Houston, like this, it's wrong. It's not many wrong. It's major wrong to me. Don't ask me what I want before I can see the options. And that's what Chick-fil-A does. They have the little menu in their hand, but they don't even pull it out to show you that. What's your name? Hey, they're all the great stuff. Oh, we're so glad to have you here at Chick-fil-A and get you feeling all good. How can I help you today? Can I drive up to the goddamn menu, or can you show me the one in your hand and then we could get started? Why ask me before I've seen the options? It's wrong. That's all I got.
Those pricks are assuming you've been there a billion times already. Can you believe
Yeah, they
that?
see you come in and they're like, "This guy, this is a regular.
This is a
He knows
regular.
what he's getting. He knows what he's getting right now."
I mean, chicken, but there's options on how you get that chicken, right? So that's all I'm saying.
You're a Whataburger guy, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I love
Damn.
Whataburger.
I rock a Whataburger, yes.
Yeah, never been. They good?
They're really good. Now, some people want to say In-N-Out is better, but I refute that statement wholeheartedly.
That seems like a geographical statement. Like, I like In-N-Out, but I don't like it because it's good. I like it because I never get to eat it. So if I go to anywhere close to the West Coast, like, well, let me get some In-N-Out. When else would I get a chance to do that?
But see, my take on it is I've had In-N-Out. Now, I haven't had the one in Cali, but I've had the one in Vegas several times. So they're neighboring cities. So take what you want from that. But every time I got In-N-Out, the only time I enjoyed it was when I got an animal style, which means I got a whole bunch of junk on the extra that doesn't come like that. If I have to do all of that, then I can't say you have a better product than Whataburger, who they don't even have that option. Like, you just got to get the burger how the burger comes. So, yeah, like, as far as burgers are concerned, now Whataburger, I love Whataburger, but they chicken strips, bro, garbage.
Well,
They
I think that
they
Go
crispy. They got no seasoning on it whatsoever. The gravy does all the heavy lifting. They need to get some seasoning on those chicken tenders because they got a nice size, nice crunch to it. This just ain't got nothing on it, bro. Like they got to do better on that. They do better on that. Then Whataburger is still number one in fast food.
problem that you have is you're going to a place called Whataburger and getting chicken. I mean,
You got to
that's
switch
the
up
problem.
sometime, man. You got to switch up sometime.
That's like going to Chick-fil-A and trying to get a hamburger. Like, why are you going to a place that's name is, if you're not pronouncing it as it's supposed to be, what a burger? and you're getting chicken strips, that feels like that's the miss there, that's not the fault.
If it's on the menu, it needs to be good. I know it sounds crazy, but damn it, stop selling chicken tenders then. If you can't do it right, stop selling it.
I don't go to McDonald's for a salad, and I'm not going
They have
to
salads at
Go to
McDonald's?
McDonald's for anything. Gross.
You can get a salad at McDonald's. McDonald's
You can
salads
sell
have
at
more
McDonald's, bro?
calories. They have. I don't know if they still do, but they used to have more calories than a Big Mac, mostly from the dressing.
A salad?
Yeah, because
It's
they
not
dress it.
real food, Rick. You can keep that in mind. It is engineered, manufactured items that is relatively you can eat it. Like you're not supposed to, but you can eat it. So yeah.
I haven't been to McDonald's in a long time. Although they did come out, I will be the 30-year-old ordering it. They did come out, or they announced Pokemon Happy Meals coming out in recognition of the 30-year anniversary. So
I thought you was gonna say when they come back with the McRib. I thought you about to talk about the.
I know somebody who eats a McRib a day when the McRib is out.
I'm
No,
gonna tell you right now,
not an
'cause I know
adult.
you're so kind
Not
and
an
you try to
adult.
protect people. Whoever that is nasty as hell. I don't care who it is. I don't care who
Is it an
you're
adult?
gonna say it is. They are gross.
Is it an adult?
Yeah.
Nope. No.
There was a news story done about him. He eats enough McRibs that he has a card that a franchise owner in his area learned that he ate that many McRibs, so that they gave him a card that allows him to go into these McDonald's, the ones that the franchise owner has, and get free McRibs.
Oh my god!
That's disgusting.
He's a
That's
gold
out of
card,
bounds.
or whatever it is.
It's not
look.
even. It doesn't even
Who
pretend
am I
to
to
be.
judge? Who am I?
Shout out to the McDonald's owner. That's really good business. But to the young man who's eating those McRibs, yeah, your intestines is gonna implode in 3, 2, 1. Like it's over with for you.
All credit to him. He gets a McRib a day if he can pull it off when it's out, and he loves his McRibs.
Bet he's never on a sailboat or at an Airbnb. Not eating McRib.
Let's hope he's not on the sailboat I was on. That would have been a miserable time for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. That is our show. Probably a miserable time for all of you that tuned in to this point, so appreciate you doing that. We are back on Thursday, next Thursday. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Shout out to our producer for putting this whole thing together. Shout out to you for tuning in. We will talk to you again next week.